Something fishy is really going on here in Dragon Ball Daima episode 13, but Goku and the others have no time to waste as they now make their way to Demon World 1. Thanks to Vegeta showing off his new Super Saiyan 3 transformation and defeating Tamagami number 2, the Z Fighters were able to get the second Demon Realm Dragon Ball, and now they make their way to their final destination. Episode 13 starts off with Goma and Degasu spiraling, realizing that Goku and the others will be here soon and that Arinsu and the Majins are still in pursuit as well. With the walls closing in, Goma decides that it's time to release the trick up his sleeve at this point that he's been holding on to, the Gender Marie, and disabling the pathway to getting to Demon World 1. He orders Degasu to disable the Warp Sama, which is something that apparently has never been done before, but fear aside, Degasu follows his orders and shuts down the warp. Up in the skies of Demon World 2, Goku, Vegeta, Glorio, and the others are making their way out of there when something causes the ship to break down and torpedo out of the sky. The engine starts failing and the gang nosedives out of the sky into a forest where immediately we can see things are way larger than usual. Luckily, it doesn't seem like anyone is too seriously hurt when they crash land, so everyone exits the ship to look around. The flowers, plants, roots, everything around them are massive as we see Goku sliding down a thorn stem and then going on to continue looking through all the foliage, but when he flies up to get an overview of the landscape, he's shocked by what he sees. Back at the ship, Pansy and Bulma are getting started on the repairs. Vegeta asks a question that I myself kinda had honestly, as he says that why don't all the fighters just fly to Demon World 1? This is when Shin explains that mortals just can't pass through the Warp Sama on their own, so they need to wait for the ship to be repaired. Off in another part of the forest, Neva suddenly realizes where they are and urges them that they need to hurry up and fix the ship quickly and get on out of here. He tells them that this is planet Mega, and Supreme Kai mentions hearing this name somewhere before. On this planet, giants reign supreme. Everything here is far larger than they're used to, and apparently this is the second most dangerous planet in the Demon Realm, so Bulma and Pansy get to work to make sure they can get on out of here ASAP. Back in Demon World 1, Glorio beeps in to speak to Arinsu as he tells her that they've obtained the second Dragon Ball and that they'll be headed there next. Now, we still don't know exactly what Glorio's plan is, but soon enough, it should come to light as they bring the remaining Dragon Balls to Demon World 1 and Arinsu, who are still currently outside of Goma's castle. But for now, they still have to keep an eye on Goma's activities. Back on planet Mega, Bulma and Pansy are making progress with the ship slowly but surely, with Pansy explaining to Bulma that this giant rock that's powering the ship, this giant shiny thing right here, is actually a mineral called Magilite and is vital to help them stay in the air. They react to acidic water to produce energy and can last for 30 whole years. She even tells her that the top of the second Demon World and bottom of the third Demon World is all made of Magilite. Acidic water seeps from the third Demon World, which reacts and makes it continually shine like the sun. Pretty cool source of energy in my opinion. Bulma asks if it's possible to get all the Magilite you like whenever, since apparently it's just around in the second and third Demon World, but Pansy reminds her that the Supreme Demon King controls everything. While there is a lot, it's a really valuable mineral in the third Demon World, and taking any is punishable by death. Of course, Bulma wants some to take back home and experiment with, I'm sure, but we'll just see how that goes in the future. Off in the forest, Goku is getting a little snack, but this is when they're all attacked by giant hamsters that kind of just come out of nowhere. While these guys don't really pose an immediate issue and the Z Fighters kind of knock them around a little bit, shortly after, some massive footsteps can be heard approaching, and this scares all the hamsters off. This ginormous unit that we see next isn't even a full-size Megath. It's a Megath child along with this dog that approaches them unknowingly. Just this one Megath kid taking steps near Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo sends them flying through the air with a massive shockwave, and we can see just how afraid Neva is by running into just one of these children. Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo follow the giant for a bit to watch his movements, and everything goes relatively well for the most part. They haven't been spotted yet until they eventually do get spotted by the giant's dog after he takes a seat. As Goku makes a run for it, Glorio and the others try and help by distracting it, but their only goal right now is to try and keep it away from the ship. Flying all around in zigzags seems to work until Goku lands on the dog's body, getting stuck in its fur, and he eventually ends up riling up some of the ticks on his body, which is kind of disgusting. But it does get even worse because now the dog has spotted the ship. He has his eyes on the ship because it looks like a shiny new toy. Now the dog just starts beelining towards the ship. He's running straight at it, but fortunately Goku is able to blast the dog away with the Kamehameha before the ship gets destroyed. And right on time too, because Pansy and Bulma finished the repairs in this second thanks to Goku's quick thinking. But this seems to be the thing that gets the Megath child's attention as Glorio tries to take off, with the Megath starting to swat and swing at the ship, forcing Goku and the others to buy time and try to distract him as much as possible to allow the ship to take off. As they're trying to fly all around the Megath and distract him and hold him off as long as possible, Goku gets dropped down into the giant's clothing, and honestly, I don't know how he didn't get crushed right then and there. And then he falls into the giant's bag, which we saw before a bunch of pencils and other things fall out that almost took out Vegeta and Piccolo and the others as well. The Megath takes one more swing at the ship, but this is when Goku finally emerges one more time, this time finally transforming into a Super Saiyan and blocks it with his power pole. This gives Glorio enough of an opening to get out of there, and the gang finally makes it off planet Megath safely. Finally, everyone is back on the ship and they're able to flee before the adult Megath show up. Vegeta then remembers as they're flying off that they call this the second most dangerous planet in the demon realm, so he asks exactly what the first one is. And that would be planet Giga, Never responds, saying that beings even larger than these live there, as Goku looks out of the ship's window and watches the Megas begin to congregate below. Next stop, Demon World number 1, as the ship takes off, but what awaits them for the rest of their time in the demon realm, no one knows. Only time will tell. And that is gonna wrap up episode 13 of Dragon Ball Daima, fellas. If you haven't heard already, the first episode, episode 1 of Dragon Ball Daima dubbed, has officially been released. I'm pretty sure it's on Crunchyroll, and as far as I can tell currently, it looks like it'll release at the same pace as, you know, the raw version and the sub version of Dragon Ball Daima, coming out once a week. So it will be, what, 12 episodes behind or 12 weeks behind? We're not exactly sure yet how many episodes Dragon Ball Daima has in its entirety. We're rumored to have, what, 20-something-ish at one point, but I've heard rumors of another season and things like that as well. So we'll just have to wait and see, but at least we have the dub version officially out now. A lot of people probably feel a way about it being so far behind, you know, the sub version or the raw version. A lot of times that's kind of just the way these things go. I know a lot of people probably aren't too happy that the dub version is this far behind, you know, the subbed and raw versions, but I guess it just is what it is. I honestly plan on rewatching the entire thing dubbed. I'll probably rewatch it week to week as well. I don't see any point in waiting, you know, however long for both the original and the dubbed versions to finish. I'm just gonna follow it week by week, just like, you know, the sub version, and we'll see what happens from there. But as far as episode 13 of Dragon Ball Daima, fellas, I felt like there would be a little bit of a cooldown after that crazy episode we just got with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta 2 weeks ago. So this one, there was honestly a little bit more action than I expected. Obviously the world building is getting more vast and things like that. We got to see new beings and new creatures from a different planet in the demon realm, and it looks like any episode now we're about to start getting a lot of questions answered. What exactly is gonna happen when Goku's squad meets up with a Rinsu in Demon World number 1? What exactly is Glorio's plan, and who is gonna get to make that wish with the Dragon Balls? Obviously we feel like it's gonna be the Z Fighters, but hey, anything could happen. And we still have yet to see who exactly is gonna merge with the fusion bugs, which is probably one of the biggest questions still remaining in Dragon Ball Daima. So anyways, fellas, I hope next week we'll have, you know, maybe a couple more questions getting answered. I really want to see who's gonna end up merging in the end. But anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you fellas in the next one. Bye guys.